You mentioned Bob Crane. Do you know if he was up against anyone else in competition for that role early on?
I have heard rumors that they wanted first Richard Dawson for the part.
Really?
And they went the other way. As a matter of fact, he auditioned with Werner Klemperer. And Richard Crenna, who was a very good friend of Ed Feldman, told Ed Feldman, you should audition Werner Klemperer, because Werner, he played, until then, very serious German part, always the very heavy person. Ed Feldman didn't think he could play comedy, but Richard said, please, I know him, why don't you audition? And so he auditioned with Bob Crane, and that's how they both got the part.
What was your experience working with Bob?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Again, there was something very clever. Bob used to be a good drummer, and he would play drums constantly. What they did with Bob, they gave him a room where his drums were there, so he can play while we were lighting the next scene. He was there, so when we needed him, he was there. Everybody was very good in the cast. We were all very professional, and it was a pleasure working with them.
Well, he particularly loved that role, didn't he? He loved the role of...
Yes, I think so. And why shouldn't you? There's your big break. You're the star of a big hit television series.
Did you feel a special chemistry right away when you started on the show?
Yes, it was. It really was. It was wonderful to work with all of them. I love working with Richard Dawson and Larry Hovis and Ivan Dixon and John Banner. John Banner was tough to work with. I'm not saying he was mean. He was like, there's a rule in show business: never work with animals and children.
Right.
And John Banner. John was a pussycat. He was wonderful, and I did a lot of my scenes with him. And thank God I'm also a scene stealer, because otherwise I would have died.
There were 168 episodes produced.
Yeah.
Of those, are there
you
any...
know more about it than I do.
Are there any particular episodes that stand out in your mind?
There's one episode that I liked a lot because I was featured in it. I was supposed to, I'm going to leave the Stalag and I'm going to join the underground with a girl who was in the underground. But it didn't work out, of course, because but it was a very well written, and I liked it a lot because I was serious. I was very thrilled I'm going to be able to join the French underground. Unfortunately, when we finished Hogan's Heroes in 1971, there was a rule. If it's a hit, you'll get residuals for the first 10 reruns, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That was the rule. So after 10th rerun, we didn't get any money.
Right.
That's not like at 71, because we went on strike to change that rule. Starting at the end of 1971, whatever the show is on the air, you get paid, even if you get $5 for it, but you get paid. I had 2 or 3 years of very good residuals, and that was it. That was the end. In those days, they were not as well paid as they are today. I mean, the stars, when you think they get $1 million per show,
right?
It's mind-boggling.
How much were you paid for Hogan's Heroes?
I think I was $500 per episode. But the last year, I think I was paid like either I'm going to lie, $750 or not even $1,000. The 4 heroes, we had the same salary. Now Werner and Bob and John Banner, I don't know. I'm not inquisitive, but that's if they get good money, that's fine. I don't say. I'm also not jealous.
Do you think that John Banner today would be surprised at his continuing popularity? The fact that he had such an impact on pop culture? Something
very strange is when the show finally was seen in France, it was called Papa Schultz.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It was not called Hogan's Heroes.
Papa Schultz?
It was not called Stalag 13 or Stalag 13. It was called Papa Schultz.
Can you describe your character, Corporal LeBeau, for us?
I was a very feisty Frenchman, a good cook, love women. Mm-hmm. I mean, just mention between Richard Dawson and I, when just mentioned the word women, and we would just go crazy. And he was a feisty little Frenchman, and I like that.
If you've enjoyed your journey on the TV Time Machine, please like and subscribe. We look forward to having you again on the TV Time Machine.